What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching Tru Headphone Heat podcast.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with Tru Headphone Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Headphone Phenom, SP3, and we are back once again. It's been a long time, but we're back. We're back at it once again for the second episode of Tru Headphone Heat, where we talk about all things music, hip-hop. We're going to talk some rock, we're going to talk some pop, but this time we are sticking with the hip-hop world, and we are talking about the beef of 2026, the beef to start off 2026. For all you fans of beef in the rap game, we got another one to discuss, and we're talking all about 50 Cent versus T.I, as well as everyone else who hates 50 Cent as well. And to do that, I am joined by our music expert, producer extraordinaire, and of course, the one and only StatKing, John Martin. How are you feeling?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, this is it's great to be back, and it's here to talk about music, and in this particular sense, talk about rap and hip hop. And as we alluded to on our first episode, where we did the review of the J. Cole album, this is actually how you and I met, arguing about at least one of the persons involved in this. So it's fun to see how about 20 years later we're still arguing about, or not arguing, but just talking about that one person. It goes to show that individual's longevity, shall we say.
It does. His ability to stay relevant can never be denied. And I actually, funny enough, we talked about so much when we did our first episode, talking about the origin of our friendship. And I actually talked to one of our old friends from St. John's University, Jarrett Ferreira, and I was bringing up that we have the music podcast and how we're still good friends, and I was the best man in your wedding and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, I actually remember that." He's actually sober now. Shouts out to him. He's sober for 3 years, for the last 6 years. So shout out to Jared. So had a good conversation reminiscing over there. But I would love to hear what he has to think about this whole beef that's going on in the rap game with 50 Cent all these years later, 20 years later, still making news in the rap game. But we appreciate y'all if you're joining us on the premiere. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on the video. You can share this video with all your music family, friends, and fans on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Headphone Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the live chat if you're watching us on the premiere, but if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below, which side are you picking in the 50 Cent versus T.I debate? And before we break everything down, what side are you leaning towards before we go over anything? Because I know when we started talking about music with each other, you were adamant with 50 Cent, and you had me actually arguing for Jay-Z, which is such a rare thing. If you ask most of my friends, who talk to me about hip hop, they know I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan, but you forced me to be on the side of Jay-Z because Jay-Z, I think, is higher up on my list as far as the greatest rappers of all time. I don't think he's the greatest rapper of all time. He's very much, I always compared it, like, as I got older into my 20s, Jay-Z is like Triple H. He's like Triple H. He has a legacy within himself. He's gone on and gone to greater ventures after his like prime of the hip hop years, but he had a lot of his success is due to other people. Like Triple H, a lot of his success is due to other people. It's due to his friendships with the Clique. It's due to his friendship with Shawn Michaels. It's due to his relationship with Stephanie McMahon, therefore his relationship with Vince McMahon. With Jay-Z, it's the friendship with Dame Dash. It's his friendship with Biggie Smalls. It's having Kanye West as a producer. Like, there was a lot of things that's why I make that comparison. 50 Cent is an enigma within himself. I don't know if there's a wrestling cross-reference for 50 Cent, because you have someone whose greatest work as far as like prime hip-hop years is his first album. It's Get Rich or Die Trying. It's still iconic. It's still like considered a top 10, top 15 hip hop album. No skips on that. But it's always been like, and you really like, a lot of people think that his whole hip hop rap career is those first 3 albums that he has, which is Get Rich or Die Trying, The Massacre, and Curtis. A lot of people realize he had other albums after Curtis because he was supposed to retire mostly. But he has been able to venture off outside of the hip hop game, outside of the rap industry, and become this mogul, become this entrepreneur, become this personality on social media, to become a person who's created one of the kind of like the iconic African-American television shows and empires and universes in television of today with Power over on Stars. So he's done all this stuff. You had the what was the vitamin drink that he had as well?
Vitamin water, the Formula 50.
Yeah, the vitamin water. That was like a big thing that he had that made him into an entrepreneur. But the fact that he is still relevant and still making news, like before this beef with T.I, there was the whole beef with Diddy and him exposing Diddy and the Netflix documentary that he has. Like, he's always had these beefs, and of course his 25 plus year beef with Ja Rule. Like, the list goes on with 50 and how he's able to still stay relevant in the rap and hip hop game. So what's your feelings on him all these years later?
So here's the question, right? So he starts off as a street guy, reinvents himself in essence into a rapper, reinvents himself into a businessman, reinvents himself into a television and movie producer. Is there an argument that it's similar in vein? Because you were saying a wrestling comparison. Would it be similar to a Chris Jericho? And just from the reinvention aspect, the ability to constantly change and bring new ideas to the table of how you're being presented and how people perceive you. Some of them have been good, right? Like some of Jericho's stuff has been good. Some of it's also been terrible. And 50's had, some swings and some misses for sure. But like from the reinvention aspect, it does remind me a lot of Jericho, or at least somebody who's able to effectively change characters and kind of just be always relevant, always important, always like that. I mean, you could also argue much shorter career duration wise, but you could say between Irish Last Kicker and Steampunk to The Man to Big Time to now just the GOAT, like there's also an argument that what Becky Lynch has been able to accomplish, that level of reinvention and being at the top of the industry where people consistently want to know what this person's doing and who they're going to be facing and things like that. There's an argument for that as well.
There's also Sting.
Yeah.
Surfer Sting, The Crow, and NWO Wolfpack Sting, the Joker Sting, Old Man Sting. Like,
Yeah, I mean, what can you really say about 50 Cent? Like, I agree with you. He is an enigma in many ways, shape, and form. It's the kind of person where, you piss him off once and he's going to remember it for the rest of time. I do find it interesting that I am somebody who generally, like, I enjoy arguing with people. I enjoy having debates and conversations and things like that, but I generally don't seek out like conflict with people. Like I'm just like, why would I bother with that? But I find it interesting that consistently, for some reason, the people I really like are shitbags who are assholes, like CM Punk, 50 Cent. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Like, what is it? Like, I thought about that the other day. I was like,
you have a type. You have a type.
It's kind of interesting. Like, if you have somebody who will be able to questionably make an argument as to why they're always right and be willing to cut people off for almost no reason. They just happened to wake up that day and they were like, this person pissed me off. Fuck them. Like, that would, like, I'm going to be like, you know what? I appreciate the fact that they're able to pull that off. I don't know what it is, but he does have that ability, right? Like there's this sense of, because of where he's from, because of what he grew up with, because of the fact that he was shot all these times, there is that element of nothing you do is going to be able to break me because I already know what rock bottom is. I already know what that was, and I pulled myself out of it. And to a certain extent, there were people around him who helped him, similar to Jay-Z and Dame and Biggs and Kanye and Just Blaze, and helped build up what was Rockefeller. But at the same time, like, what really were the contributions of a Lloyd Banks, of a Tony Yayo, of a Shaw Money XL, of a Bang'em Smurf? Like, there weren't that many people that he was the boss. He was the leader. And you could argue that as much as Jay-Z wants to say, people said they made a Jay-Z, okay, cool, make another one. Like, Dame Dash really was the business behind Rockefeller. He was the business mind. So I have a lot of respect for him. On the flip side, there's, T.I, like, there's a lot that you can say about T.I and the battle-tested eras that he went through. Like, he had to compete with not just the fact that there were in a shifting landscape of hip-hop, right, from 03, 04, 05 onwards, this idea that it's slowly moving down to the South. So he still has to compete with North people, with northern rappers. He still has to compete with Midwest rappers. There's Nelly in St. Louis. But then also he has to fight against the Southern rappers. And there's the beef with Little Flip. But more importantly, there's the battle in Atlanta itself. There's him and Ludacris going at it. There's what's going to happen now that from Boys in the Hood, Young Jeezy's got his own solo deal. He's going to be releasing solo albums on Bad Boy South. What's the story here with Gucci Mane? All in Atlanta. That just alone. And he has to figure out what's going on there. So both of these guys are people who have either been in movies or helped produce movies. They both have had clothing lines. They both have dealt with alcohol and things like that. 50 has effin, or had effin, and then Branson and all these sorts of things. Like, there's a lot of similarities between the two of them. So from where this sort of stems from, or at least what was the match that lit this off, it kind of makes sense, because you can see the argument for why T.I was like, if I'm going to do a versus, I should do it against 50 Cent. And you can also see why 50 Cent, being the egotistical asshole that he is, was like, well, if I'm going to do a versus, it would not be against T.I. So you can see like where that point is, because if one guy is proclaiming himself the king of the South, and it's really hard for anybody to really prove him wrong, and one guy's calling himself the king of New York, and there's a lot of people that are trying to prove him wrong, but he still finds a way to laughingly like just keep pushing them down. Like, you should, like, those two guys should, like, it's a little bit of a Game of Thrones. Like, at some point in time, these two kings should fight. So yeah, it is. I will say, like, I kind of want to lean more 50 just because of the level of history that I have there. But like, I can at least see T.I.'s arguments. I can acknowledge that he has a place to where he's coming from, where everything he's saying makes sense. It just so happens that the target really doesn't care. Like,
yeah. And you know me, I'm a person that loves to get into debates. As I've gotten older, I've realized when to pick and choose my battles and how to address certain people in a way that doesn't lead to these full-on debates. So I have a love for 50. I've always had a love for 50. I think when we first had our debate of Jay-Z versus 50, I said, like, I love 50. Like, 50, I listened to Get Rich or Die Trying my entire freshman year. I went back and listen to it 1,000 times, and I still think it has no skips. It's in my top 10 greatest rap albums of all time. T.I. doesn't really have that for me. I don't have that type of like connection and love, and especially growing up in New York, like I saw 50 Cent and heard of 50 Cent way before all of that. The first time that I heard of 50 Cent was from Jay-Z. Well, I'm about Dollar. Who the fuck is 50 Cent? Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard about 50 Cent, and what made me listen to the mixtapes and be like, oh, okay, he's actually pretty decent. He's more of a gangster rapper, and this is out of the time, like mid to late 90s was really, or like all of the 90s, the decade of the 90s was really like the gangster rap era of hip hop, and to have someone come out of that and into the 2000s and they're still doing the gangster rap, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. And then Get Rich or Die Trying drops, and it became the hottest album of that year. So I have all respect in the world to 50 Cent. I think he has an iconic album. He has an iconic legacy. T.I. I've mostly listened to based on his like tracks and him becoming kind of one of those kings of Atlanta when the Atlanta and South really came to fruition in the mid to late 2000s. That's when they were like on the buzz. You mentioned all of those people. So regularly, if I didn't know the details and what really sparked this whole rivalry, I would be like, yeah, I'm more for 50 Cent. But because I do know what's happened and we're about to break everything down here, I lean more towards T.I., and especially because T.I. has actually gave us something that we've needed, is not just a beef in that two people don't like each other. A beef in hip hop is not a beef in hip hop until someone drops a diss track. And the fact that one person has given us a direct diss track towards the other and broke this person down, I'm leaning more towards T.I. in this situation.
I mean, yeah, it's completely fair, and I get it. But it's like the thing is, part of why, and as we'll get into the conversation, I think it's interesting because part of why I think you're going to feel that way, or why anybody would feel that way, is because of like, this is what T.I. has to do. He has to try to do something to provoke this person, because the other person is just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to ignore you. I'm just going to I'm just going to ignore you.
Oh man, we got all of this, like you mentioned before. The whole verses is what started all this. Verses was basically invented to settle beefs in hip hop or debates in hip hop. The foundation of this feud really came to fruition back in like the COVID-19 pandemic, when T.I. would repeatedly call out 50 for a battle, but 50 didn't pay to much attention and scoffed it at his request, like you brought up. Then tensions were raised in February when verses became a topic of discussion once again after T.I. joined Nightcap during Super Bowl weekend and claimed that 50 was ducking the smoke. In typical 50 fashion, he lived up to his petty persona while turning to an array of social media jabs and memes. The floodgates really, though, opened when 50 went beyond T.I. and began taking shots at his family members, most importantly, Tiny Harris, who is T.I.'s wife, and his son, King Harris. In the span of less than a week after that, T.I. peppered 50 Cent with a handful of diss tracks, and it didn't appear like he was done with 50 just yet, as he parlayed that momentum into the rollout for his upcoming and final album, Kill the King. So this whole thing, this really just got way bigger than I thought it was. Like, I kind of like heard it in passing on social media, and it wasn't until I was on In the Weeds, and I think someone in the comments asked me and Jeremy like, oh, what do you guys think of the 50 Cent and T.I. beef? And I was like, I'm not really paying any mind to it. And then it was like, oh, but did you listen to the diss track? I was like, wait, what, there's a diss track? They came out with a diss track? Like, I was like, oh, I did not know that. I did not know that they came out with diss tracks. And they were like, no, 50 hasn't come out with a diss track. It's been T.I. that came out with a diss track. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. So we have this one, the right one. We can't play you the full audio. We did get a copyright strike. We will put in our the fair use law into the description this time. We learned our lesson. Thank you, YouTube, for teaching us that lesson. But we will play a little bit of the track for you guys so you can understand where we're at in this whole situation.
No issue with them white boys. It's only our people that you find to be an eyesore. Duck and smoke, he won't even stand up for a legacy. I guess it cause he see a shit to fight for. Hey, listen, man, this shit ain't gonna go how you think it is. Down here we'll strip you out that shit, leave you with rabbit ears.
He came hard on him. When you really like listen to this track and all the lyrics that he kind of broke 50 down in the essence of 50 and like how he kind of gained his fame through getting shot 9 times and kind of being a gangster rapper on wax and in persona, but not always being the gangster that he thinks he is when it's in person and all of that. And this is a direction that not a lot of people have ever taken against 50. Like Ja Rule took the fact of, oh, Ja Rule was a bigger star than 50 when the beef all started. But as that beef really created the star that 50 was, and he became bigger than Ja Rule coming off the heels of Get Rich or Die Trying. So I really commend T.I. for the direction that he went and then breaking down his hit list and all the people that have won beefs against 50 and how these people that he's pretty much laughed off and kind of brushed aside and been petty about over the years. He really didn't win any of these beefs. When he really broke it down and talked about it, it was like, yeah, he really didn't win any of these beef. He just went on the fact that he made money. That was all he would ever do. So what did you think about Right One in particular?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely kind of how you want to come out the gate, right? Like that is how you want to start off. And it is one of those interesting things because it's like, how do you want to try to tackle somebody as big as 50 Cent? Well, what are we going to do? Make fun of power? What are we going to do? Make fun of the alcohol? Like, no, there's not really much. You can't be like, I have more money than you, because it's very hard to find people in rap that are going to have more money than him, or at least have more influence and more power. No pun intended. Yeah. So you have to kind of go against the history of who he's kind of rapped against. And it's like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the points that T.I. was making, because it's like, yeah, if you're going to try to say that this guy isn't in real life who he says he is, Ja Rule wasn't able to say these things because Ja Rule broke into the studios, got him stabbed, and then also got his ass handed to him by a baseball bat with 50 Cent. Like 50 went after him with a baseball bat and beat the shit out of him. So it's like, all right, so that's like, that one doesn't count. Then he's talking about what was it, Things with Cam on the radio, and it's like, but 50 won. I don't understand the argument there about him saying that Cam was the one who beat him. No, like Cam, the point that 50 was making was the amount of money that you make on a major label deal versus a independent deal. And Cam was saying, yes, Jim Jones is going to make more money per unit. I'll make more money per unit. And 50 was saying, right, but if you just sell more, it doesn't matter like what the rate is. And so it's like, okay, yeah, but then also he was then able to manipulate Jim Jones against Cam and helped cause a lot of the Dipset problems and Dipset issues that lasted till today. So it's like, I find it hard to say that you're going to be able to beat him. Like Jada, sure. Like I think everybody will acknowledge that Jada out-rapped 50 Cent for sure. And Jada with Checkmate, like that's one of the greatest disses ever. So it's like, cool, I'll give you the Jada one. And it's like the Kanye situation, that's sales. I'll give it to you. But if you also look at not the full manipulation behind the scenes of what was going on there, but like that also can affect how the manipulation from behind the scenes from Jay-Z as well as from Interscope, which is why I had the problem with T.I. saying you never go after white people, because it's like he left Interscope because he had a problem with Jimmy Iovine because of what was going on there with the books and the money and how the deal was happening when he made his headphones, the Beats SMS back in the day. Jimmy Iovine was like, no. Here at Interscope, we all use Beats by Dre. And 50 was like, okay, but I'm making this headphone line. And it's like, no. I don't think you understand. We are going to flood. Interscope at one point was helping to subsidize different music videos if the artist put Beats headphones into the music videos, whether or not they were signed to Interscope. So it's like, okay, well, you're really like you're because Jimmy Iovine had part ownership of Beats with Dr. Dre. So like you're using one bucket of money to subsidize another bucket of money to help build up something that you have private interest in. Jimmy Iovine was just president of Interscope. Here he is a part owner. So you would see it in a lot of see these headphones. And to be sure, I mean, I have a pair of Beats headphones. They were very popular back in the day, like ridiculously popular. But like this also was a plan of how to help Jimmy Iovine get money. 50 acknowledged that, saw that, realized that he was not getting pushed the way he was before. He trying to have a conversation with the booker and had some issues. And he took shots at Jimmy Iovine in the press. He took all of G-Unit Records away from there. So the idea of saying he never goes after white people, like, and it's not to say that Jimmy Iovine is like the one case that proves the rule. It's more along the lines of, generally speaking, white people don't have an issue with 50 Cent because they all make money together. Like normally it's more like where he's having an issue with fellow artists in his space because that's a competitive nature. The only white artist that he would potentially have a competition with is Eminem, and he would die before he had a competition with Eminem because of how much he loves and respects Eminem for, as he has said, saving his life. So it's like, who else is like, who else was he supposed to have an issue with? That's kind of the point there. But from the perspective of what you were saying about you can't have a rap beef without somebody rapping, T.I wins in this in this section because it's like you're the first person to, like, you're striking while the hammer is hot. Now the question is 50 Cent going to respond? And obviously he's not going to. But like he's like because he's like there's nothing in it for me, because this is sort of the thing that I think is lost at the heart of this beef, because similarly to a current feud that's going to headline night 2 of WrestleMania, most people are forgetting that CM Punk has actually good points against Roman Reigns because he said, I'm going to bury you next to your father. So everyone was like, wait a minute, you can't say that though. Like, there's a lot of things you could say. You can't say that. 50 Cent was right in ignoring T.I this whole time until he made fun of the dude's wife.
Exactly.
Then it was like, well, listen, like, you can do a whole bunch of things at T.I. You can't make fun of his wife. That's not right. And then, of course, 50 Cent, much like CM Punk, when they're told you shouldn't do something, was like, well, now I'm going to do it double. Look what you guys did. It's not my fault. It's your fault. Why would you make me do this to you?
It really is like that. It really is. 50 is basically CM Punk in this situation.
I think we have found our comparison much, and he has reinvented himself as well. The straight edge Messiah, all that. There you go.
So to go over some of this verse in right one, he says, T.I says, to me, you just a small man in a big shell. Bitch made ass nigga needs pink tails. You take no issue with them white boys. It's only our people that you find to be an eyesore, huh? Duck and smoke, he won't even stand up for his legacy. I guess it's cause he ain't shit to fight for. Hey, listen, man, this shit ain't gonna go low. You think it is? Nah. Down here, we'll strip you out that shit. Leave you with rabbit ears, which is hilarious. I love that. I haven't heard that phrase since I was in school. Rabbit ears being that they basically jack you and leave you with nothing in your pockets. And you ain't the only one who was grimy for. You had a deal. You think you special. End up somewhere pushing the full deals. Then nigga, you got less talent. You're less attractive, more average. You ain't got more motion. You're just moving where it's less traffic. You moved out way rapping, and they gave you the DMX package, which is wow. That was one of the best lines where he's like, yeah, I never really thought about that. But yes, 50 kind of took the formula laid out for him by DMX, because DMX was kind of the last of the dying breed of gangster rap that I was talking about.
There's a reason why 50 Cent's on the fifth DMX album, Grand Champ. DMX, like,
yeah,
when Onyx had the React video with the React song with DMX years ago, this is before he got shot. 50's on the song with him, and he's in the music video. And they tried to get black guys to skate on ice and be hockey players, which was weird to me. But like, I mean, I don't know, like that doesn't seem like the natural milieu of what's going to work. But for a rap music video, but they were like, all right, let's try it. But yeah, he's got a lot of connections to DMX, a lot of connections.
So he says they gave you the DMS package. You ain't that savage, nigga. You 5-0 dispatcher. Basically saying he a snitch. He said, all tender dick nigga, all mad because Puff let your bitch have it. Gave her tartar sauce and mustard like a fish sandwich. Oh my God. He said, hey, goddamn, if this nigga want drama, I'm not landing. Once it's up, I'm not landing. Troops is outlandish because you're not that nigga. You're not that rich. You're trying to stunt on everybody with them white folks shit. He went hard on this one. Like, this is the best. I said this when I originally listened to the song. I messaged you in our chat, and I was like, this might be the best I've heard T.I. rap in a decade.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is great rap. It's great rap, and like how he's gonna try to work some of the hits there, because like part of what this stems from also is when T.I. got knocked for the weapons charges back in 07, 08, somewhere around there. 50 pointed out, he's like, he got caught with 10 machine guns and he only got 12 months. Keep that person away from me. The insinuation being that he rolled over, he snitched in some way. Then, yeah. And the best part of this is not the first time that he's talked about Tiny either, because a few years later, when T.I. got hit with drug charges, and it was him and Tiny, he went away for like, I think it was 11 months or something like that. And Fifth was like, but why didn't she just take the charge? Like, why did she? Like, which screamed like when. I mean, obviously, what I'm rereading, it didn't at the time, but like I'm rereading the history. And I'm like, that just screamed to me when Jim Cornette was like, but why would Becky Lynch have a baby when she's at the height of her powers? Seth, why would you allow this to happen? It's like, because she's 32. Like, that's what she's doing.
Like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
That's why she's having a child before it's very inconvenient for her body to have a child.
Exactly. Logic that you didn't even think about. So they go to the second verse. He says, having a moment, hate to let this nigga an inch of my life, but I'll give his ass a case to solve about him mentioning my wife. You hate women. Guess that's why you can't keep one. You can't love them because from your mama, you received none. Yo.
That's cold-blooded.
That was, I was like, oh, he's kind of deep here. He says, oh no, you'd rather set fires to houses with babies in them, bringing up 50, setting a fire to his baby mama's house. He says, I got paperwork from niggas.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. You're right. We got to add that word. I got paperwork from niggas in prison. Your name is in them. Peter Parker journalism. He's saying, I guess I'm Venom. Morals won't rake or bend them. New Yorkers, you gonna defend him? This your king, huh? He been a victim from the get-go. Murder Inc. pumped his ass full of bullet holes. Cam did him like a hoe on the radio. Took losses from Rick Ross and Fat Joe. Remember that? Jada spanked that baby thinking it's sweet. Kanye stood up to him, made his first week a defeat. It's always happened. Too much yapping, niggas slapping your cheeks. So what the fuck you think gonna happen out here playing with me? You got the right one, King. He smoked him on this first one. Damn.
It's you know what? Because here's the thing I've noticed is that a lot of times, whether right or wrong, and obviously, like you would hope that, much like CM Punk, 50 Cent would have realized he is far above the people that keep trying him, far above them, and he should just keep ignoring them and not bothering. And he keeps reducing himself to doing dumb things with people because he thinks he has to. Again, much like, I think he is CM Punk.
You're talking about the same person here.
You have like the big bro. It's the last time somebody went diamond was him.
Yeah,
that's CM Punk in AEW. Don't lower yourself to people who don't sell out the buildings like you do. Anyway, he just like, why would you bother to respond? Like Rick Ross, I like Rick Ross. I'm from South Florida. Rick Ross didn't, in my mind, Rick Ross didn't win that because he didn't get 50 Cent to respond. All 50 Cent did was just make funny videos about him. Even in the case of with Fat Joe and Jadakiss, they were roughly on par at the time. Like he felt that they were peers, and more importantly, they were trying to help Ja Rule back, and he'll do anything to keep Ja Rule down. So like I get that part, but like a lot of times he gets into these situations with people where he just doesn't need to respond, and it's like, okay, but if you choose to do that, you better make sure you're going to come out of this 100% like up on the up and up. And he, in his mind, he never takes a loss. So like, all right, cool.
Yeah, exactly. In his own head. If he's always the winner in his own head, like how can you beat this guy? Like, and I think that's why T.I. had to keep dropping. It was like he was like, oh, this didn't work. I poked the bear. Oh, that didn't work. Let me try it again. So a week after Right One drops, we get the second disc, which is called What a Bully, which I think it's not on par with the Right One, but the rollout for it and the fact that he used the 50 picture of 50 being a sick patient from that movie he did was hilarious. It was hilarious promotion, and oh man, but we'll play a little bit of What a Bully, his second disc against 50.
Sucker nigga we don't like. Wanna bully everybody who don't want no problem. The niggas come bully you and you don't want no problem. You supposed to be a bully. I can't tell. Them wolf tickets you scalping damn show ain't sell. You dominate me, I can't see. Why you's a hoe ain't even much a man in my auntie. Ain't got
T.I. know how to make a hook. Like don't mess with T.I. with the hooks. No, he know how to make a damn hook. Like that hook and the beat just play together so well.
Yeah. It's another one. Where he keeps. It's like it's what I think a lot of people have started to learn from is whether or not he stood a chance. One of the big reasons why Meek Mill lost against Drake was he took too long to respond. And Drake, because he knew what he was going to do, he already had another one in the tuck and then just waited like the day that it took Meek Mill to not respond. And then was like, oh, well, hit send back to back. And so T.I. was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to sit here. It's like, and it's definitely been reinforced from Drake and Kendrick. Because Kendrick was like, I have so many. I knew I was going to do this. I have so many, sir. You say one word. And it was like 30 minutes later on YouTube. It's up. I'm like,
instantly. People didn't even have time to absorb Family Matters before his next one dropped. Oh man, but yeah, let's talk about these lyrics here. He says, bitch, I want pressure, need no mercy, help the bear, huh? Talking about he dangerous, too sick in the head to care. So make them cop deuces, call on truces. They want it, nah. Take off my mask, I eat the face of my opponent. Call shots in person, we too rich to telephone it. Boy, I remember you Lodi Mac, little homie, turned secret agent, informant, detective. Increase in payment, make your antics more effective. He just going in on the same point, but I love it. I love it. Just keep hammering home the point. Like that is, we were gonna keep making references to the CM Punk Roman Reigns rivalry, but that's been the issue with the second and third promos for that rivalry, is that they haven't hammered the points that were made in the first promo. That's been the issue, because it feels like we were talking about three different rivalries instead of, you did so much great work in that first promo, why aren't you reinforcing that in the second and third promo? Why are you escalating it in the second promo and then de-escalating it in the third promo? Whereas T.I here, he's just hammering home on the same points that he made in Right One, but in different ways, showing his creativity with the lyrics.
T.I says, I hate you, CM Punk, and I've always hated you, CM Punk. CM Punk says, but I'm the champion. Like, I don't understand. I brought you into this world. And then T.I just goes, this would be as if T.I was like, did you talk shit about my father? I'm just not going to say anything back. Like, wait, no.
I'm going to make you respond. I'm going to make you respond.
And in a weird way, it would have been as if T.I, instead of responding to 50 Cent saying shit about his wife, if he had then turned to Mano, Papoose, Jim Jones, and was like, guys, I'm not going to do anything, but if you want to go get an apology on behalf of my wife, that'd be cool. Like, and they were like, Roger, got it.
No problem. We would love to do that. So he goes on to say, I got the power to devour you, you little rep, and you sour little boo-boo. The fact that he keeps calling him boo-boo is hilarious. You know, you always been a coward. Shit, ran into someone who wasn't playing and you ran. Pew! It's up, it's snuck, and that's just where the fuck it's staying, pussy. Then he goes on to say, I ain't got time to go to prison. Round here messing with you. All this deflecting folks' perspective. I expect you to do, to say the least. This nigga character is questionable. He'll do the shit you have to go and get a detective to do. Might go to making up some cases just for posting some shit. It'll be a small price to pay for me exposing a bitch. Let's get this straight, nigga. I ain't Puff. I ain't walking up on you trying to buy you stuff on IG behind them fesses. Right now you tough. Get popped, dropped off at the bayou, bruh. I meant to punch you in your mouth. Haha, you thought police. This is just rap, man. I'm all talk. This nigga posed to be a bully. I can't tell. Yo, he is talented, man. Like I slept on T.I for too long, but like you remember all the hits, and then you hear this after like all this time of him kind of being away from the rap world and not as like on his peak as in the late 2000s into the 2010s, but damn, he know how to rap still. He's like riding the bite. So that's why I really wanted 50 to respond.
A lot of people forget that T.I is a rapper that not once but twice went bar for bar with Eminem on songs. Like Touchdown, yeah. And That's All She Wrote. Like he has the ability to do this. Like it's not like it's in order for T.I to feel comfortable to have said I want a verses with 50 Cent back in the day, like you had to have done something to deserve that, right? Like if Mano had been like, I want to have verses with 50 Cent, that would have never made any sense because Mano never did anything. T.I has sold how many millions of records, has had how many top Billboard hits in the top 100. Like you have to be good in order to do that, in order to move units, in order to go on tours, in order to sell and do these sorts of things and be able to be in a movie in 06 and have clothing lines and do all those things, have your own label and be able to break artists like Young Dro and try with others. Like you have to be good at what you do.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. He came out with a third one on 50 called Let This Be a Lesson. But we got to bring up Miss Jackson, which was by Damani, who is T.I.'s son. Is it his son-in-law? Because it's Tiny's son from a different
No, I
From a
think that
different
is. I
relationship?
think that's his.
That's
I
his
think
son?
that's his biological. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he came out with Miss Jackson, which is a not only a diss song against 50, it's a diss song on 50's mother. Or I think like he's addressing it's basically T.I.'s son's version of what was
Sorry, Miss
the
Jackson.
Kendrick the Kendrick diss that he did on Drake where
Oh,
he's addressing his family.
it's Euphoria. That's Euphoria. Or
No, the one after Euphoria.
Oh shit, it's fun. I don't remember the name, but that is actually my favorite one from the whole one. Where he's like,
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry,
most
Adonis.
that's the most
He should have gone. He should have
that's
gone.
the most like fierce one. Like that's the one that like cut a chord. Oh, Meet the Grams.
Meet the Grams. That's it.
Meet the Grams. Yeah.
Because the verse when he's talking, my favorite is the verse where he's talking to the mom and then the dad, and he's like, "The fucking nerve of you, Dennis."
For leaving him. he hasn't learned. But Damani comes out with Miss Jackson, and here's a little bit of it.
I hope you know it's time sensitive. I think it really was a little confused, but I won't mention it. Pardon me if I'm digging it. Hate to have you reliving it. You supposed to be resting. But just a few questions. Do you whisper in his ear before he makes his decisions? Can you hear you past the nervous laugh he do when he timid? And is he really happy? Time to took the basket and gimmicks led to the actual business. He used to be something. We thought it was a joke, but now we see it's something off with him. I offer him a chance to reunite with you, and I'll do it. Nothing left to do, so I
basically just threatened to kill him. Because 50's mother is passed away.
Because if there's somebody I think is going to be pulling triggers, it's T.I.'s kid. But okay. I mean, I don't. Like, what the fuck are we?
I mean, I don't either, but I'm just saying that's we're going all the way to we're making threats about killing people. Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And then finally, you had T.I.'s third diss against 50. Let this be a lesson.
I just can't look myself in the face without me telling them today, oh, you a bitch and you fake pussy. Your dad, let it be a lesson. Get on your head till he get the message. Man, let it be a lesson to you. Let it be a lesson to you. Let it be a lesson to you. No, do you respect it?
T.I. just knows how to make hooks. I will say, I gotta give him like this. That's what I got across from these three disses that he made. Is just like this man just know how to make these hooks. These hooks are catchy as hell for a diss
back when because he's from an older school where back where you had to your songs couldn't just be like good verses. They also had to be able to be catchy in order to get played on the radio. Yep. I mean, this is the same guy that made 24's Rubber Band Man. Bring them out. I mean, granted, that's got the Jay-Z sample, but still, like, big shit popping, great hooks.
Yeah. Great hooks. So in this one, he says, knowledge is power, but this knowledge gonna cost you. Enjoy the wins, but we tend to learn more from the losses. When many men leave they chin open, go in their jaw. When window shopping at the candy shop, this nigga so soft. I make money, I make music, not memes, nigga. We ain't the same. A world of difference. Let's begin with I'm a king and you lame. Still in here rapping because I just can't look myself in the face without me telling him today, ho, you a bitch and you fake pussy. God, why? He's so mean. Every time I look up, this hoe want to get into it and beef. I hate a bully, pussy nigga. Come and do it to me. He ain't on female. He beat on females, and I know details. Could be a free L to hand out, but I know he tail. He juggling Johnson, huh? Must be on the DL. I'ma spank that baby. Don't give him no fuck about how he feel. You bully everybody. Offer no compassion is cool, then playing victim like a Karen when it happens to you, bitch. Yo, like this last diss is just there's no reiterating. Like I said, with the first diss to the second diss, it's like he's reiterating some of the points that he made on Right One. This one, he's just like, you just pussy, like you not answering me.
It's like Marshall, I called you 17 times. Why aren't you picking up? Do you dare me to drive? Like with my girlfriend? Like, what do we?
Dude, you hear the song about it rapping or not? Oh man, T.I, man.
Listen.
I gotta
If
hand
there's
it to him.
if
I
there's
enjoy
one,
it. I
like,
enjoy this stuff.
if there's one thing I appreciate in all of this, it's like T.I was like, listen, I'm making my last album. I need something to help me on the rollout. Let me go back to this thing with me and 50 about this verses that we were supposed to do, or I said we were going to do, and he sort of agreed to it, but then he backed out or whatever. And he was like, either one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to get the verses, which is going to be the album rollout, or I get to beef with 50 Cent, which is the album rollout. He's like, either way, I win.
I win. Everybody talking about me, so I win. This is what it's all about. I win. Yeah, I mean, he won the beef because he's the only one that came out with music, so he got that on his books. 50 didn't have to respond, so he could kind of feel like he won because he didn't have to respond. So I feel like this is like a 9-9 round. It's like
one of the things that's funny about this is like when these disses were coming out, people were like waiting. They're like, he's gonna do something, and like he would post a meme every once in a while, like making fun of Tiny or whatever the case may be, but he like didn't really see, and then like he just starts posting a flurry of shit where he's at this film festival, he's at that film festival, he's announcing a new movie deal, he's bringing more stuff to Shreveport, and then you just look at it and you go, and this is why like I sort of like I lean more towards the side of 50, where I'm looking at him and I'm like, he doesn't like, he's beyond rap beefs. He doesn't care anymore. Like, this is the guy that just gets to walk out onto half court of the Sacramento Kings arena and just be like, hey, you guys giving me money to be here, and I'm making money off the Branson. Like, I have all these with the Houston Rockets. I'm pretty sure because of Shreveport, he's going to try to do something with the Pelicans or something like that if he hasn't already. But it's like, that's what he does now. He doesn't need to deal with people like this. And I think that's kind of why T.I went after him, is because I think T.I realized he's not going to really make anything back. So it's free. Like, I can just get free punches in and I look good because of it. And to the people that like in the grand scheme of things, because 50's not releasing music, like he's not trying to sell records, it doesn't affect him in the sense of, oh, you look a certain way against T.I. Who cares? Are people going to stop watching Power because of it? Are people going to stop watching whatever documentary he puts out next or whatever new TV show he comes out with next? No, he's building that Shreveport Studios, and he is revitalizing an entire area, like an entire region of Louisiana is getting such an influx of cash that he's able to affect how the governor and the legislature are writing laws, like the tax laws in Louisiana. That's how much money and power he's bringing to this. Like, all due respect to T.I, but no, like you don't have that level of influence. You don't have that level of power. So it's like, yeah, you're winning in the realm that you want to win in, and he's winning in the realm he wants to win in. So to your point, it is kind of like a 9-9 round, and it's like, hey, if it works, it works. Like, for either side, like what would make you want to change the approach?
But we did get a response, though. And this, in typical 50 fashion, he does it for something that will probably get more play than anything that T.I did. He does it for the theme song of the next Power series, Power Origins, dropping, I think in early 2027. So this is the new Power Origins theme song that 50 basically repurposed into to T.I on his social media. So here it is.
I put that pain in the pot, ice cube, watch it lock. Now look at what we got. I turn a brick to a drop, a piece brick to a spot, a G back to a knot, your sister to a dot, two storefronts to a block, the low bread to a lot, slap box to the clock, turn a stab wound to a shot. I know match, bag match, boom match, get the douche, bitch, get the ooze, niggas still can't move me.
So yeah, he put on his social media that this is a diss towards T.I. But 50 is so hilarious. He did it on a Power theme song.
And it's not even really a diss. That's the funny
It's
part.
really not. It's just he just repurposed it on his social media. It's really got nothing to do with them, but he's just like, oh, this fits.
He went into the studio, probably was like, okay, if I change this to this, I change this to this, we're good. It's like I think it was back God, I forget who it was, the name of the individual, and God, I can't believe I'm forgetting. He was shot and killed by the NYPD back when Terminate on Sight, the second G Unit album, was going to come out. And so because it happened in Queens, they were like, obviously, G Unit, are you going to say anything about this? And Lloyd Banks was like, you just got to wait for the album to come out on one of these songs. And like the only thing that was contained that was shitting on NYPD or anything like that was like, no Vaseline in the M16, fuck the NYPD in the ass. I was like, that's not really commenting on what happened at all.
And they
were like, we did it. And I was like, oh, so you went into the booth, changed a couple things. It was Straight Outta Southside. That's the song. Because they're referencing the Straight Outta Compton aspect and that sense of fuck the police. But like, okay, so like, oh, so you just went to the booth, changed a couple lyrics, and we're like, we got him. Like,
so to bring up this line in reference is, he says, I'm back on my dope boy grammar. Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta. Freak shit, peep shit, keep shit on the low, but everybody know. He just changed the Atlanta. He probably changed the Atlanta line to the grammar line. That's
which, like, I don't even know. Like, is that supposed to be toward, like, is he saying to T.I, your dad made your mom do it, or is he saying it to Damani?
He's saying it to Damani, I think.
Which is funnier because it's like, it's not even a T.I diss then. It's a Damani diss. I'm like, wait a minute. T.I.'s like, over the head. And that Damani's like, and 50's like, fuck him. Like, not him.
It's him I got an issue with. I don't care about you. It's him. But as a wise man once said, everybody hates 50, or everybody hates 50. As T.I is not the only person who has been dissing 50. We got such people as, I haven't heard this name in so long, but Mano is dissing 50 Cent. He came out with a song that's called Bleed Like Us, which a lot of people are saying is one of the better disses to 50, but here's a little snippet.
Black men, no white man is your enemy. Queens niggas love me, Curtis, let's rap about it. Didn't freeze smack you, you ain't do jack about it. All that killer imagery, but you only just rapped about it. You a false god, shot 9 times, you capped about it. You overrated, this is your day to get deflated. Only white kids from the birds thought you was gangster. We fuck with you cause of your story, thought you was like us. Just to find out this whole time, you was the wankster. Fake fuck, nigga, your bars is prosthetic. Lately you been looking unhealthy, you diabetic.
What do you think about Mano, of all people, coming at 50?
So I'm a big Mano fan. Back when If Tomorrow Ever Comes was supposed to be released, and that whole bit, and like he had that album, he had like the briefest of moments, and then he just kind of disappeared, which was wild considering he spent so long in prison to then make it out and like put everything into this album. And then I don't know if it was just squandered opportunities, what exactly happened, but something happened. Like, this is the same guy that was in the Little Kim Lighters Up video in 2005, and then later is putting out his album. But it's like, that was he showed that he was a talented rapper then, with one of my favorite songs of I think it was 08 or 09, All the Above, with T-Pain on the hook, Just Blaze and Nard and B produced it. But this was a great diss. It's channeling Biggie, Bleed Like Us, and it's smart. It hits. It's very similar in the sense of like it's kind of reiterating the same points that T.I was using, but it's different because you could argue for, if we want to say like, you know, fighting somebody on their home turf, is a New York audience going to believe T.I, or is a New York audience going to put a lot of credence behind something T.I saying? Probably, but probably not. But if it's coming from a New York artist, then there's going to be a little bit more like, it's much easier to get play on Hot 97 if you're a New York artist. So it's like, okay, I get it. But like, again, it's just reiterating, it's reiterating the same points as T.I, saying them better. But like this comes from a different place. And the idea here is the reason why, as good of a diss as it is, it's harder for me to like it. It's because Mano waited. The issues between Mano and Jim Jones and Papoose and Dave East and Fab, they actually extend from before the issues with T.I. So it's like, if you had issues with him this whole time and then you don't drop until T.I drops, until after T.I drops and drops a lot, I'm looking at this going, well, you kind of were just waiting for somebody else to open the door because you understood that if it was you were going to get your head taken off. Like he wouldn't even
to be fair to Mano, and I never thought I would say that on any type of video, but to be fair to Mano, in a lot of ways, Kendrick wasn't the one who opened the door on Drake. It was Metro Boomin and Future.
Sure, but they gave him the platform.
Yeah.
They gave Dot the platform. But okay, but like the analogy there would be if T.I and Mano did a song together. He waited until what I'm saying is he waited until T.I dissed him at all. Kendrick Kendrick took the first shots on a song with Future and Metro Boomin. They just gave him the platform. In this situation, Mano was like, I'm, for whatever reason, waited until somebody else, at least that's how it appears, waited until somebody else released, and then he started shooting. And it's like, but your issues came from beforehand. So why did you not feel comfortable this whole time? And it's like, well, because if, you know, you're going to be like Papoose and say some things as well, then 50's just going to put up the meme that he did of Papoose, where it's like, you've been rapping for 25 years and you never did anything. At least Mano has the ability to say, I was in jail for kidnapping. And be like, and robbery, like I couldn't put out music, right? Like that's why he wasn't there. But like, so this stems from a podcast that Jim Jones, Mano, Davies, and Fab have together, where they've talked, you know, a few different things about New York hip hop. It's just a general podcast, but like during the conversations about hip hop and New York and that kind of thing, 50's name has come up, and because of that. Like I said, sometimes 50 Cent just takes things the wrong way, or like whatever the case may be. It's just like, well, fuck these people now. He went after them and they started going a little bit back and forth, but it wasn't really rap. Nobody really dissed each other. Obviously, 50's not going to. Then it got to the point that 50 was pointing out that like they weren't paying the bills on the podcast studio that they were renting or something like that. And then also like that Jimmy wasn't like having to break into a studio that he was building himself because like something to do with unpaid bills. So it's like the one thing I never understand is if you're going to talk shit, like if you are a big enough artist where if you're going to talk shit about 50 Cent, he's going to respond. You have to make sure everything is in order first. Like go to your accountant, go to your tax attorney, go to your regular attorney, go to your business manager and be like, put everything on the table. Let me make sure there's absolutely nothing for this psychopath to fucking find before I go and say some shit about him. Because what did 50 Cent do? He just went into business with the guy that owns the building that they record the podcast in. And so he's like, okay, so now the podcast that you're using to talk shit about me pays me. Now what are you gonna do? Like
that is typical 50. But you did mention one of the people who was on that aforementioned podcast was Papoose, and Papoose has come out with a diss song of his own, Agent Provocateur, and even came out with a music video as well. He went into actually making a music video for his song, because you can't just, you know, make a rap song. It's more effective if you have some music video attached to it. So here's a snippet.
Make songs, heard you diabetic,
aesthetics. Take care of yourself. You getting older. If they amputate you, I hope it's your head from your shoulders. I'm not concerned about how much money can Curtis show, cause he bankrupt. So mathematically, Curtis older. Only Curtis we respect in hip hop is Curtis Blow. But the question is, how much dick can Curtis blow? Pause. Seen him
How much dick can Curtis blow? Pause. That's such a New York nigga. Ah, Papoose, a name that I thought I would never hear in the last 10 years.
Case in point, if you're gonna talk shit about 50 Cent, make sure that your wife didn't cheat on you with a battle rapper. Make sure that you're not with a girl that is now apparently cheating on you, like, and that can beat you up. Apparently, I don't know the exact context of the beating up part. Like, I know she's a boxer and shit, but like, don't give somebody layups. Like, don't, like, why would you give somebody layups for this guy? Wait. This is
never for 50. You don't.
This is
you
the
don't
same
need to
guy.
get
This is the
layups.
same guy that, like, almost 20 years ago was making Pippin Curly videos about Rick Ross. Like, he didn't lose that ability to do that. This is like, these guys. This is what I don't understand. All the people involved in this, and at least T.I. acknowledged it, but all the people involved in this watched this man go after Diddy, who has far more power, far more money, far more influence than all of them combined. They watched him do that, and they all thought they were going to be able to pull this off. Like, this is like if you got the Avengers together, but none of them brought any of their equipment. Like, what are they gonna do?
It would be like if the Avengers was all Blank Man.
Exactly. like at least T.I. was like, I'm not Puff, I'm not Diddy. It's like, okay, well then be smarter. Don't do you don't need to do this. Like, you said you guys had the conversation about the verses. He said that into 2020. In 2021, 50 said, verses seemed like the thing to do back when COVID was happening, but now that COVID's over, why would we do verses? You're not going to get him to do the verses. What's the point in bringing it up 5 years later? Like, if you bring it up 5 years later, he's just going to talk shit about you. It's like, okay, well, if that's the plan, that's the plan, but you got to be ready for whatever he's going to do. And you have to think somebody like him who doesn't give a fuck is going to bring up your wife. Like, you have to remember, like, rules of engagement and who's going to believe in them and who's not going to believe in them. And he's somebody who's not going to believe in them because he's always going to look at everybody else as the smaller artist, as the smaller person. Like, this is a guy that this is the same person that put out How to Rob. Like, why would you think you're better than any of the people that was on How to Rob, who are much bigger art? Like, if you took where you are now and looked at it where they were then, like where they were in comparison to other people, they were huge artists, to the point that Jay-Z felt it necessary on Summer Jam to bring up 50 Cent. Like, that's how important 50 Cent was then, and he was small. Now he is who he is. Like, why? Like, it's just, I don't understand. Like, you got to think chess, not checkers. And they keep falling into the trap so that the guy never has to, like, he doesn't really have to respond, to the point that, I'm sure you're about to, we're going to get to, he's just makes an AI video. He's just like, he's like, it's not even worth my time. He's not even worth my time to shoot the music video. I'm going to lose money if I take the time out of my day to shoot this video. I'm gonna let some computer nerds make a video.
So the final song that we're gonna play a snippet from is No More Tricks, No More Tries, 50 Cent's AI produced video with Max B that he put on his YouTube channel a week ago. It's already got 1 million views, which is significantly more than I think a lot of the videos cuts that I've already played. But here is 50 Cent with No More Tricks, No More Tries.
I come back like that ready rock. Cut with that fetty rock. Cock it and let it pop. Stitching, you better not. I move around different ways. Demons do different deeds. Pressure, I feel a squeeze. He say he can't breathe. Bitch, I got so much breed. She said she can't leave.
And it's basically a picture of it's a video with a girl looking at his dick. That's just money, a stack of money.
Do you know what it reminded me of? And he's not actually like talking about these people the way he did in that song, but it reminds me of the fucking piggy bank video.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
guys, if you really push him enough, he'll do the piggy bank video, and then it's gonna be worse.
lickety blank, lickety yank. The money goes into my piggy bank. All right, but we've come to the end of breaking down this whole beef, and everybody hates at 50 Cent. So what do you think is next? Is there going to be anything next after this, after 50 with his AI video dissing everybody but T.I, it seemed like, because he didn't even reference or have any pictures towards T.I in this AI video. So what do you think is next, and what's your conclusion to all of this?
I mean, my question to this is, when is T.I putting out the album? Because all of this, like everything you're doing, it feels as though it's rollout. So if it's rollout, then it has to be relevant to the album. The album has to be coming out then. And we are now March 18th, and to let them know the lead single from that album, which is a great song. Great song. Play it all the time in the car. Amazing song. Pharrell did an awesome job on the production. That came out 2 months ago. And in a lot of people forget that the way hip hop has changed and evolved is much shorter attention spans. You get a limited amount of time to get hot, put out an album, first week sales, and then you're pretty much done, like from a streaming perspective. So if you're still operating under like an older kind of model, and not to say that T.I doesn't know like what the model is now, but like his last album, if I remember right, I think it was 2020, Libra. So it's changed just from 6 years ago, but like he's got to get that album out if you're going to try to capitalize off of anything that's happening here. And the longer you delay, the longer you have to hit another diss track and then another diss track. And sort of like getting the conclusion, it's like, to me, the more diss tracks you put out with every single time 50 not responding, the more desperate you start to look. The more it becomes a little bit more obvious as to why you're doing this, because he's really ignoring you. And so if he keeps ignoring you, it's like people are going to start looking at it going, well, if he's ignoring you, why should I pay attention to this? Like, yeah, we get it. Okay. He lost against Cam. He lost against Jid. He lost against Joe. Okay, cool. Like at some point you have to get the album out. And I think if I'm T.I, I'm trying to put any finishing last touches I need on this album. If somebody, needs to get sample clearance, whatever the case is, get the lawyers on it, get that taken care of. And it kind of sucks though, because and I don't know if he necessarily did this for rollout or what it is. Like it comes across that way. But if that's what he was doing, it kind of feels bad, because you're pushing yourself into a corner of how you're going to release something, and you're trying to tell us all that this is going to be your last album. So if this really is your last album, this is how you want to go out, why wouldn't you want to be as comfortable as you can be while you're doing the release and you're going through all of that process and you're shooting the videos and all that sort of thing? Why wouldn't you want it to be as comfortable as you can? So we'll see how it goes from there. From the perspective of 50, I don't know, just keep making money. Like, who gives a shit? Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? And from the perspective of Mano and Papoose and Jim, it's like, okay, guys, like, turn the mics on. It's time to podcast again. Like, what are you gonna do until Jimmy finishes building that studio and you can fully move from the studio that you're in to that studio? All that, like that ad money revenue, part of it's going to the guy you're shitting on. So it's like, I mean, okay, who really wins in that situation?
Stupid tricks get stupid games. I will say my conclusion is this is the hip hop version of a great television show, The Boondocks. When Grandpa faced Stink Meter. Grandpa being T.I, Stink Meter, of course, being 50 Cent. So, and then when they actually want to rap and stuff, and Grandpa has trained and gotten ready for this fight, then Huey realizes that Stink Meter is actually a blind dude who just got lucky and he's not going to fight back. So that's basically the equivalent of this rap beef between 50 Cent and T.I. So that is my thoughts on Tru Headphone Heat. We did something a little bit different from our first episode where we reviewed the Fall Off by J. Cole. Let us know, like we said on the first episode, what you want us to discuss next. But we decided to break down this rap beef. Hopefully, maybe something else happens in the before the next episode, and we could talk about that. But we will try to focus on more music. We got a lot to discuss in the hip hop world. Drake with is Iceman coming out or not? We got to discuss that. We got to discuss K-Dog might be coming out with a new album. Will the Kanye album drop at the end of this month? So we got a couple of things that we could discuss.
There's
on the next
also not strictly hip hop, but there's also so he announced with Hurry Up Tomorrow that he was retiring the Weeknd as a name, as a stage name. Yeah. And then recently he made a new Instagram account called Gene Hackerman, where he's just been posting random shit, but like all of his travels and things like that. But he did post something saying what happened to all of the haunted music for strip clubs. So it's got people thinking that he's going to be releasing something that week. Well, I don't know what to call him. I guess just Abel Tesfaye is going to be releasing music either as Abel Tesfaye under a new name, whatever the case may be, that could be geared towards his much earlier sound, like before Starboy and those albums. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
We will try to see what we're going to discuss on the next episode. But thank you, as always, StatKing, for joining me. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media and when they will see you again.
So you guys can always catch me here on the Tru Headphone Heat Sports Entertainment channel. We have Clocking In with myself and Chase Oliver. We break down everything that happens on each episode of The Pit. We just covered episode 3. This week we'll be bringing in episode 4 as we go week by week, discussing all of the fun things that happen on that show. My goodness, it's always fun to watch that, especially when your wife's an ER nurse, and then she's just like, yeah, I see things like this. I'm like, okay, well, let me remember that you have a very tough job. But also we have, during the football season, we have True Picks. Right now with the off season, we have True Off Season. We just covered everything that happened with the first initial rush of free agency and the scouting combine. And as we build up towards the draft, we'll have a pre-draft episode, unless there's some crazy news that comes out. I know Denver just traded for Jalen Waddle, so I'm sure I don't think we'll necessarily have a full episode about that, but we will be talking about things as they happen, as they build up in the NFL offseason. And you guys can catch me here on Tru Headphone Heat. And Sid and I, we've got a few different things we're looking at and shows we're looking at. I know we're finishing up our run of Ghostface and Scream topics and things to talk about but the beauty of a franchise like Scream is it always gives you more things to talk about. And I'm sure that Sid and I will find other shows and other movies to review soon. So as always, appreciate being able to talk with you guys and having this conversation. Who else would I have these conversations with? My wife? She'd just be like, okay, what do you do?
Like, all right. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
She's like, I like both of these guys. She's like, I like 50 Cent. I like T.I. They make great music.
Oh, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Headphone SP3. You can find me on this channel talking about Scream with StatKing. Check out our reviews of Screams 1 through 7. Check out our every Scream ranked video. By the time you're seeing this, you will already see our every Scream Ghostface ranked video that is up on the channel as well. And check out the latest episode of Tru Headphone Heat Check number 26. I don't know, maybe before you see this, 27 will be up as well, where we're doing the top 10 centers in the NBA. So a lot for you to enjoy here on Tru Headphone Heat Sports and Entertainment as we continue our march to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for all the support. Like the video, share with your friends, subscribe if you are new. For the StatKing, it is me, your Tru Headphone Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Headphone Heat, 50 Cent versus T.I. We are